At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
Okay, so looks like we've got a ton of you wondering about this big speech that everybody's been talking about. Tons of searches coming in about a presidential address, fact checks, woke, even people wanting to know, like, how old the speaker is.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of buzz around this one.
It seems like former President Donald Trump is back in the spotlight. Maybe even gave a State of the Union address.
It's so interesting how these searches can give us a real glimpse into, what's on people's minds, what they're feeling. Like the sheer volume of searches for Trump, speech, and time tells us there was a ton of anticipation leading up to this thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But then you see those searches for fact check and reaction that kind of hints that maybe it wasn't all smooth sailing.
No, definitely not. And there's a real sense of urgency in these searches, too. Like, everyone was glued to their clocks waiting for this thing to start. What time is the State of the Union? Trump address time? Trump speech today time?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, almost makes you wonder if the timing was a surprise or something.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's possible. It could be that. Or maybe it just shows, how much interest there is around anything Donald Trump does. Especially now, this is his return to the political stage after a few years out of the limelight.
Right, exactly.
And when you look at the searches for Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, that tells us this is a very different political landscape than we saw during Trump's first time around.
Oh, totally. I mean, last time it was Nancy Pelosi in that role. Now it's a Republican. That one detail could change everything.
Yeah.
How the speech is received,
Yeah.
how Congress reacts, the whole game.
Absolutely. And if we think about the methodology behind all of this, it really shows how powerful these search trends are.
Yeah.
When millions of people are all searching for information on a single event at the same time, it's like we're getting a real-time snapshot of what the public is interested in, what they're worried about. We're not just, speculating here. This data comes from the collective curiosity of a whole nation.
So, like, putting the pieces together, it seems like we can safely say that Donald Trump gave a major speech, probably a State of the Union address.
Right.
I mean, given all those searches for State of the Union 2025, Trump address to Congress, joint session of Congress, but it's definitely not business as usual in Washington.
No, not at all. And it gets even more interesting when we start to look at the searches that are about the content of the speech.
Okay.
Fact check Trump's speech, reaction to Trump's speech. Even the word partisan popping up a lot definitely sounds like this address ruffled some feathers.
And it's not just any feathers.
Right.
I mean, we're seeing searches for Pelosi and AOC mixed in with all this.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like people are already thinking about a clash between Trump and some of those prominent Democrats, almost like a rematch of the battles we saw during his first presidency.
Right, like round two. It makes you wonder if Trump's return is going to, reignite all those partisan divisions we saw before, or if this is just like a temporary flare-up. And there's another layer to this, too. Remember all those searches for woke?
Oh, yeah, that word is everywhere. Woke meaning, what is woke?
Yeah.
It's like people were scrambling to figure out what it had to do with what Trump was saying.
Well, woke has become a really loaded term in our current cultural and political climate. It's often used to represent all sorts of progressive values and ideas, but it's also become like a target for criticism from those who see it as, excessive, out of touch.
So Trump was definitely tapping into a really specific cultural nerve here, one that's already pretty sensitive.
For sure.
It's a way of connecting with his base, but it could also alienate a huge chunk of the population.
Yeah.
And the fact that so many people were searching for the meaning of woke suggests that it really struck a chord, whether positive or negative.
Yeah, exactly. It speaks to those ongoing culture wars and how much they're still shaping, how we talk about politics. But there's even more to unpack here. We're also seeing searches for who was just removed from the State of the Union. That adds a whole other level of drama to this whole thing.
Wait, what? Hold on. Was there some kind of incident during the speech?
That's the million-dollar question. I mean, we don't have enough information to say for sure, but the fact that people are searching for this suggests something happened, something noteworthy, maybe a disruption, an outburst, something that grabbed everybody's attention. It's like a political thriller unfolding in real time.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we've got a politically charged atmosphere, hints of a dramatic incident, and now this whole woke debate is swirling around everything. This is getting good.
It is. It's like we're piecing together a puzzle, one search term at a time, and the picture that's emerging is, well, it's pretty captivating.
Yeah.
It really does, doesn't it? Like a political thriller or something.
Speaking of hot button issues, let's talk about the economy for a second. We saw quite a few searches for balance the federal budget. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, you're right. That phrase, alongside searches for news and economy, suggests that Trump probably, spent a good chunk of his speech talking about economic issues. Looks like he might be focusing on, like, government spending, fiscal policy, maybe even tapping into some anxieties about, I don't know, the national debt and hinting at potential cuts or changes.
And then there's drill, baby, drill, which
Right.
almost feels like it's, I don't know, straight out of a time capsule.
Oh, right.
Didn't we hear that slogan like a decade ago?
Yeah, we did. It's a slogan that's often, associated with increasing domestic oil and gas production, a policy that was pretty popular during Trump's first presidency. Seeing it pop up in searches now suggests he might be, like, signaling a return to some of his earlier energy priorities.
So if we kind of connect these dots, it looks like Trump used this address to touch on a whole bunch of, anxieties, cultural fears with the woke debate, economic concerns with balance the federal budget, and then a throwback to energy policy with drill, baby, drill. No wonder people were frantically searching for fact check.
Yeah, it's a classic strategy. By addressing these sensitive topics, he can, appeal to his base, provoke his opponents, and generate a ton of media attention all at the same time.
Right.
And judging from the sheer volume of searches, it seems like it worked. People were definitely paying attention.
Okay, but let's go a little deeper here.
Sure.
What does this tell us about, the political climate right now?
Well, for starters, it tells us that a lot of the same issues that were, dividing the country a few years ago are still very much at the forefront of people's minds. Trump's return to the spotlight seems to be, like, amplifying those divisions, almost like he's, picking up right where he left off.
That makes those searches for partisan even more interesting. Are we headed towards an even more polarized political landscape than before? I mean, we already saw some hints of, like, some kind of conflict during the speech itself with that whole who was just removed from the State of the Union mystery.
Right. That question is still hanging out there. What happened during the speech? Was there a protest, an outburst? Did somebody refuse to applaud? We can only speculate for now, but that single search term says a lot about, like, the tensions surrounding this event. People weren't just passively listening. They were on the edge of their seats, waiting for something to happen.
It's like everyone knew this speech was going to be a powder keg, and they were just, waiting for the spark. And the fact that we're seeing searches for both Pelosi and AOC alongside Trump suggests that maybe those old battle lines are being redrawn. Is this a sign of things to come, or just like a temporary resurgence of old conflicts?
That's the big question, isn't it? And it's a question that we can't really answer with, search data alone. But what we can say is that this speech has definitely tapped into a deep well of emotion and anxiety in the American public. Whether those emotions lead to, constructive dialogue or further division remains to be seen.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's crazy how much we can learn about what's going on in our society just by looking at what people are searching for online. We started with this basic question, what was this big speech that everybody was looking up? And now we've uncovered this whole, like, web of political stuff, cultural fears, economic anxieties. It's wild.
It really shows how much information we can get from just a few, search terms. They're not just random words. They're like a window into what people are really thinking about, worrying about, hoping for.
It's almost like we've been doing this deep dive into the collective consciousness of the whole country. And what we're seeing is, well, a mix of anticipation, anxiety, maybe even a little bit of, dread.
I think that's a fair assessment, yeah. This speech and how people are reacting to it has kind of exposed some of the, the fault lines that run through our society, and it raises some big questions about where we go from here.
Totally. Like, will this speech be something that actually leads to positive change, or will it just make those divisions even worse? Are those, those partisan battles we talked about going to get more intense, or will we find some way to, like, bridge the gap?
Those are questions that only time will answer. But one thing's for sure, this speech has definitely started a conversation, a debate, a reckoning, and that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it is. It's a reminder that we're all, in this together, whether we like it or not. And the choices we make today, the conversations we have, the way we treat each other, All of that's going to shape the future.
It's like a call to action, a call to be more informed, more engaged, more willing to listen to people who see things differently than we do.
Well said. So for everyone listening, we've laid out the facts, analyzed the searches, explored the implications. Now it's your turn. What do you think? What really stood out to you in this deep dive? What questions are you left with? Share your thoughts with us. We'd love to hear your take.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.